has this test candidate show you the emails that they received and then go through the onboarding paperwork process with you. Okay, so I already have the Yahoo Mail pulled up, and you'll see that there are a number of emails from our H&R Block Career Gateway system. And so, I won't click into them at all, or into all of them. However, you'll see that there are a couple of candidate reference number emails. So once they create their profile, and once they apply for a position, they receive confirmation. And so they have that in there. And then what I really want to focus on is the top 3 emails. And so you'll see that they are from Kenexa, which is our vendor.
And I will just jump in there to say, I know there's been a lot of confusion from our candidates receiving emails, not knowing that these are H&R Block. And again, I would just ask, I'm asking this a lot from a lot of you on the phone, ask for your patience on this. We are working to ensure that that gets changed so that there is an indication to our candidates that they're receiving an email from H&R Block. Now, of course, once they click into that, they'll see, our letterhead and all that type of thing that are put onto the email. But again, we are working towards ensuring that these emails come from H&R Block. So just bear with us on that.
Yep. Okay, so the first email that I'm going to click into is the actual email that contains the link that is inviting them to complete their paperwork. So you'll see the Dear Doug, congratulations and welcome to H&R Block. This is to inform you that your onboard process starts today. And so they need to read through this email first of all, because in this first email it provides them their username. In the second email invitation will be their password. So obviously for security reasons, it's really important that those emails do not come in the same email at the same time, because there is obviously sensitive information about that applicant. So if it by chance went to the wrong email, we would not want that to occur. So so basically I see my username here. It's just my email address. And then I am going to go back into my inbox and actually look at my second email, which is the Code of Business Ethics. And so there is, in production, an attachment. There apparently is not an attachment right now, but basically I'll explain a little bit further in the process sort of why we are doing this. But as to become an associate with H&R Block, you have to review and complete some information in regards to our Code of Business Ethics. And so we want to ensure that we are providing the appropriate information to them ahead of time, so that we're not basically asking them to come forth with any exceptions they might have to the code and presenting them the code at the same time. It's just a lot of information to absorb. And so basically this email just says that, ask them to review the attached document, and as a part of the profile process, when they go through and complete their onboarding paperwork, there's going to be some additional questions around this. Okay? So again, there should be an attachment with the code. This is the staging environment. All right, so I have my username, and I have the email with my password, so I'm just going to go ahead and review this. So the new hire portal account password is, and it's a funny password, and every applicant is going to receive a system-generated password. There was a lot of confusion around the fact that I think probably prior to last week, there was a 3-character password, and it ended with a symbol, which in most cases was a period, which is not, or a decimal point. So it wasn't very helpful in that it was confusing because it looked like it was just the end of the sentence. And so people were just entering 2 characters instead of 3, so they weren't able to get into the portal. And so we worked with our vendor to very quickly, provide a resolution for this. And so now it's a 4-character system-generated password, and it does not end in a symbol. So just to be accurate, I'm just going to cut and paste this little password. I'm going to go back into my inbox, go to the original email that contains the link. On that link, and it takes me to the new hire portal login. So Sorry, everybody. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to take each applicant to a new page. Because we did provide them a system-generated password, we want them to reset their password so that they have the ability to log back in with their own information. And so I'm going to go ahead and set a new password. Submit. Okay, so once you have created your new password, then you have to go back and log in as yourself. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta go do it right. Sorry, with all these test candidates, you have to go ahead and cut and paste, otherwise there's too much room for error. All right. Okay, now I am almost successfully signed in to the H&R Block onboarding portal. So again, I just want to mention this is staging, and so right now we have an H&R Block welcome video, which we have not incorporated into the production environment. So for those of you who have applicants who have completed the process, there is no video right now. And so just to kind of take you through the portal a little bit, this is a tabbed portal. So these are the different sections that each applicant is going to need to complete. Right here where my cursor is, things you need to know. So this allows us to add messages to portal, or I'm sorry, to notify candidates of information that might be helpful to them. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, and you'll see that there's a message here to the candidates about, congratulations and welcome to H&R Block. So again, this is customizable. We can provide various information to the applicant. You just scroll down. So again, if they have questions, the OCOE Seasonal Hire email address as well as their phone number is on the front page. All right, so now I think we are ready to go ahead and go through our paperwork. So we're going to click here to begin your new career with H&R Block. We're just waiting for it. Staging is a little slow sometimes. Okay, so this is the first tab. So I had mentioned the various tabs that each applicant is going to go through. And so the first thing that they're going to do is verify their applicant information. And so again, this is staging, and so there is some funny data in there, as you can tell. And most of this information will actually feed over. So the requirement basically is that they complete anything that's in red. So I'm going to go ahead and select the information, and that I am fluent. And again, the language indicators should actually feed over. So I think I'm going to go with, what is your favorite color? And we'll just do green. Okay, and so once they've verified all that information, they just hit the next button. Okay, and so this is where a lot of, there's been quite a bit of confusion in regards to, where the applicant goes to complete their I-9, and the fact that some of them are just not seeing, seeing some of the information. And so as long as they're following the steps, so the most important thing is when they get those emails in their inbox, they have to click on that link to log into the system. So what's happening is some applicants are getting a little bit confused, and they are logging into HRB Career Gateway, and the only way to complete their onboarding paperwork is for them to actually click on that link and enter that username and password that's been provided to them. If for some reason your applicants cannot find the links, they can contact the OCOE Seasonal Hire team, and we can work through that. The one thing that I would recommend is before escalating those questions, ensure that they've checked their spam folders, and make sure that they validate that the email address that they provided at the, during the application process and during their profile creation, that is where the emails are going. So whatever we have in HRB Career Gateway is where the information is going. So if they happen to be checking a different email address, that's not going to be there. So just want to say a couple of things there. Okay, so again, as I'm following the tabs as an applicant, the next thing that's presented to me is the federal I-9 identification message. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And basically this message is just telling me that I'm going to be required to provide documentation that I have the ability to work or the unrestricted right to work in the United States. And so it also just kind of gives you a few examples of information that you can bring in. So the applicant should just click the checkbox and hit submit. Probably going to get an error message, again, because of staging. That should not happen. But you'll see that it actually is completed. So as the applicants go through and start collecting that, completing that information, it's going to show the status as completed. So they'll know that, okay, this one's still pending. I'm going to go into the Code of Business Ethics data collection. Now this is the email that I referenced that was sent to the applicant. And so again, they should be receiving a copy of our Code of Business Ethics. They will then click on this section, and after they've reviewed the Code of Business Ethics, if they have an exception to a company policy, what they would do is they would select that they have an exception or no exception here. Okay, so I'm not currently aware of any exception to any company policy stating in the code or elsewhere, so I'm going to say I have no conflict. If they are aware of an exception that they have, then they can select that they have a conflict. And then later in the process, they'll be able to enter what that conflict is. Okay? Okay. And then this is the area where they are verifying that they've read the Code of Business Ethics. Okay. And they're going to hit submit. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, and so now you will see that those two forms are completed, and so it's a little bit confusing, but you just need to scroll down a little bit, and you'll see in just a minute, hopefully. Oh, I'll keep going. Okay, I'm not sure you can really see on the webinar very well, but down below there is a next button, so I'm going to hit next. So this takes them again to the third tab in the process, where this is where they will sign, complete their e-signature. Now they are not going to be presented the rest of the forms if they don't submit their e-signature. So again, with their mouse, and this is actually kind of fun, they can do an e-signature, which is, and there we go. And so that's where they'll submit their e-signature. And so on every document that they click and sign, it's going to incorporate that e-signature on their documents. So I'm going to scroll down. Oh, you can't see next. And then hit next. And this just gives them a warning. You know, once your signature is saved, it cannot be changed. Click OK to accept the signature, or click Cancel to change it. So if they don't like the way it looks, they can go back in and re-sign it. So I'm going to hit OK. Don't think about it. Now what it's going to do is, now that I've completed the e-signature and the initial I-9 message and code review, it's going to present to me all of the additional documents that I need to sign I need to review and sign in order to be sent over to PeopleSoft. So just a reminder that at this point in the process, they still have not been sent over to PeopleSoft and they are not active. So just like last year, they had to complete their paperwork prior to being sent over to PeopleSoft. Okay, so I'm going to